She loved Pride Month, but herself is married to a straight guy. I find it quite ironic. I support animal rights, and I'm not going to marry a whale, George. No moi, it's Joinen, and welcome to Murdered by Words. It's like when someone says some words that are so dang harsh that it feels like you died. It's like wicked burn, insult territory. You can't even imagine, dude. I don't know. Okay, here we go. They're posts, all right? Posts from online, screenshots, that kind of thing. And they're all savage. Give me an S. Give me an average. That's what they are. Just had a large group over to lunch and we hugged and ate and talked about, oh my gosh, and talked and put the world, what is this sentence? Just had a large group over to lunch and we hugged and ate and talked and put the world to rights. It was lovely. You'll never take that away from people. Stay out. Protect your rights. If the @NHS can't cope, then the @NHS isn't fit for purpose. Compliance is violence. I don't know what's going on here. And then this person retweeted that and said, just held a person's hand as they died alone, without their family or loved ones by their side. Glad you enjoyed your meal. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what this one's about. It does have like 135,000 upvotes, so clearly a lot of people do get what this one is about, but I'm gonna... murdered! That person was murdered. Stefan Molyneux. I can't believe Taylor Swift is about to turn 30. She still looks so young. It's strange to think that 90% of her eggs are already gone. 97% by the time she turns 40. So I hope she thinks about having kids before it's too late. She'd be a fun mum. Stefan. What is wrong with you? Why are you spending your time thinking about Taylor Swift's eggs? That is the weirdest thing to be, that is the weirdest thing you could be doing in relation to Taylor Swift. I hope she buys a house near an elementary school so you can't get within 5 blocks of her. I'm gonna be honest. I think I might have read this one at some point on my channel before, but other than that, I have never in my life thought about Taylor Swift's eggs. It's never crossed my mind. I don't think I've ever thought about literally anyone's eggs. I don't think that has ever crossed my mind. Let alone me thinking that for some celebrities' eggs is for some reason my business. That is bizarre. Stop saying that sentence. John Steingart. The California Supreme Court decided a case that could add billions in labor costs to employers' bottom line by requiring them to pay employees for work time that previously went uncompensated. You have to pay employees for work, being framed as adding billions to labor costs is the most America thing ever. Political stuff. Love political stuff. I love funny political posts, but that is kind of funny. Murdered? Murdered? I mean, it's a good response, but I don't know about murdered. Masks don't work to prevent the spread of viruses. They increase the chances of illness. They lower oxygen intake and increase carbon dioxide levels. This is about control, not your health and well-being. There is no pandemic. # burn the masks. You're literally assigned a number by the government. You pay taxes, register your property and address. The government knows just about everything there is to know about you. You honestly think they're controlling you by telling you not to spit on other people? Bless your soul. Murdered! This is about control. Nothing says control like telling people to wear a bit of cloth on their face. Bet you feel like a bit of an idiot now, having to wear some cloth. I said it last time and I'll say it this time. You know what the ultimate control is? Being forced to wear clothes. Why should I have to wear clothes? There is no scientific reason. Hi guys. I'm looking for a book of low-calorie recipes, about 1,700 per day, because the foods I've been eating have started to look the same. Does anybody have any recommendations? I greatly appreciate it. Okay. Calorie count doesn't work. I do it all the time and I gain weight. Just do intuitive eating instead of starving your body like you do before you regret it for good. Besides, why are you complaining? All you eat goes straight to your ass anyway. Look, I'm gonna be blunt. Since you decided you can comment on my eating and my body. You need an extra serving of reality instead of an extra serving of lasagna. First of all, I've witnessed how you eat firsthand and I've seen what you log. You eat breaded chicken salads covered in cheese and Thousand Islander ranch. You only count the salad and log it as if it was grilled. And instead of drinking water or even diet soda, you drink those big ass bottles of naked juice and you don't log those either. Second of all, girl, This is not the first time you have alluded to me starving my body, eating frozen fruit bars instead of ice cream, thin garden vegetable pizzas instead of thick pepperoni, pickle instead of chocolate, and grilled chicken sandwiches instead of double quarter pounders is not starving my body. It's being disciplined and finding a middle ground while still satisfying my cravings. You thought you were doing something cute by commenting that, but I am not the one. Take several seats and reanalyze what you said, because you look like a bigger ass than the one I apparently have. My favorite line in that is take several seats. It's not take a seat. Take several seats. Murdered. Intuitive eating sounds hilarious. Intuitive eating. Is that not just eating? Is that not just like what people do? Because my intuition tells me, yeah, I could have some ice cream. Why not? It's not gonna end the world for me, you know? Intuitive eating is really good for people with eating disorders. Like, look, I've never looked into it. It's just by the sound of it. It just, like, I'm clearly being a bigot here by making fun of it because I know nothing about it. But it just sounds funny. It just sounds like you're like, I feel like I could probably eat that. No way I could do this, but someone should count the number of times Obama used the term I in his ridiculous 700-page book. We might have here the greatest egoist of all time, at least outside of lunatic asylums. What kind of monster writes their memoir in the first person? This book, it uses the word I. I can't believe it. He counted how many eyes there were in his book. Oh no, he said someone should. It's not 700 times, it's a 700-page book. I get it. Oh, someone should spend the time to just count how many times he says I in his book about himself. Seriously. Real authors have a higher you count than an I count. Why are you always writing about I? Why aren't you writing about you? Can we all admit that the pandemic is over now? Like, at least give us that as you peddle the rest of this nonsense. Okay, I assume this is an American. Yesterday, the US broke 100,000 daily cases for the first time ever. 107,872, up more than 50% from 2 weeks ago. 1,616 people died in one day. More Americans died of COVID this week than were killed in 9/11. Which raises the question, Dave, WTF is wrong with you? Can we all admit the pandemic is over? Dave, what do you mean over? That's fairly murdered by words. I feel like that's a pretty good one. Better than some of the others we've looked at. Can I come live with you, Joinen, please? Give me a... Yeah, I mean, we have like 0 cases here in Victoria, which is kind of nice. Kind of breezy. And look, I still wear a mask. Lady Mandalorians have boob armor? Oh, come on, seriously. You're right, armor should totally be manufactured exclusively to fit a male body, and women should cram uncomfortably into it, because denying your own body contours to achieve a male-inspired standard is somehow consistent with feminist ideals. That's right, give the ladies the boob armor! Moving along. No, boob armor is dangerous. I'm sure there's videos. I'm sure there's... what's his name? What's that Australian bloke who does all the armor videos? Or medieval videos? I'm sure he's done a video on it. I haven't watched it, but I'm sure he has. You need a flat plate to disperse the force of the blow. They're not really fighting with swords. Like, Mandalorians aren't fighting with swords. They're mainly being shot. So I don't think the boob armor is as much of an issue, you know, contour-wise. Oh my gosh. Okay, what's the order here? I think I read the original, then the retweet, then the response. Okay. Fox Guess says LGBT rainbow flag is just as offensive as Confederate flag. They represent the exact same thing. What? Remember that time LGBTQ people got together and plunged America into bloody civil war so they could own straight people as property? Raised on a gay plantation in the Bay Area, knitting tiny sweaters from pecan. Oh my gosh, I just said a word too many times. Till our hands bled, my parents died in the glitter mines. Glitter mine. That's pretty good. That was funny. I apologize for saying that word like 3 times. Is it Bichon? Okay. Poor wholesome Joinen put a quarter in the sweat jar. In the sweat jar. Sevi is gonna have to blip it out. Yeah, Sevi, just bleep it because it's kind of funny. You might as well leave in me failing with that. Canceling everyone's college debt is gonna be a great way to make sure literally no one joins the military going forward. So you agree that poor people shouldn't be forced into the military-industrial complex due to their inability to pay for higher education? I'm gonna need to read that one again slower so I understand. So you agree that poor people shouldn't be forced into the military-industrial complex due to their inability to pay for higher education? I feel like you're saying the opposite. Joining confused by dystopian nature of the United States. Yeah, this is too American for me. I don't. No, I mean, to be fair, we have to pay for uni as well. Maybe it's not as expensive. Probably isn't. If I had to guess, I would guess that uni in Australia isn't as expensive as the US. But then again, you know, the Finns, they get free uni. That's pretty insane. Herpes, AIDS, hepatitis are all viruses, so they tell us. Ever see anybody wear a mask to prevent the spread of any of these? Yeah, me neither. Well, Karen, there you go. Yeah, I mean, ever see anybody wear one of those? Yeah, me neither. Yeah, we can tell. Oh! I just can't wait till they come for my guns. Fun will start then. Watching you perform the harrowing mental gymnastics required to defend the police, but wax poetic about the day when you finally have just cause to murder them makes me think you're well on your way to becoming a gold medalist in the dumbass Olympics. These are all too American. These are too American for me. We may be handling it well, but we're at tipping point. Our hospital just hired a ton of traveling nurses because we don't have the manpower anymore. We're still just short on everything. The shortage of nurses is because they lay a lot off and downsized in beds. Do your homework. I work in a COVID unit. We have laid off 0 nurses and expanded our beds hospital-wide. Sit down. Sit down on your several seats. People with depression do not need a doctor and a bottle of something that rattles. They need a pair of running shoes and fresh air. Nice take there. People with asthma do not need allergists and emergency inhalers. They need bicycle helmets and fish bowls. People with ulcerative colitis do not need a physician and anti-inflammatory medication. They need books and a light bulb. People with diabetes do not need an endocrinologist and insulin. They need a fishing rod and a bottle of nail polish. People with illness that they have no control over do not need properly educated health professionals and treatment options. They need completely arbitrary items that do not connect directly to their illness. People who are this ignorant about mental health need to be educated. This attitude towards receiving treatment and getting proper diagnosis cannot be tolerated. No, it can't. And how about this? You know, just with a couple of words changed, this wouldn't be that bad. People with depression need a doctor and maybe a bottle of something that rattles. Also, running shoes and fresh air, I've heard helps. It's almost helpful. It's just the take is completely wrong. Like, sure, running around a little bit, getting some fresh air, it's gotta help a little bit. It's not gonna make it worse, but maybe still go, like, yeah, go see a mental health doctor. People with depression just have to go outside. That's what this comes down to. Like, honestly, get a better pair of shoes, walk it off. It's drawn out of context for you. Nintendo, release a patch where you have to take a little questionnaire on your ethnicity/background so these white people don't have access to the Afro puffs/other cultural hairstyles. Imagine being 6 and your Nintendo Switch starts asking what color your skin is. That is pretty funny. If you got healing crystals and apple cider vinegar, yeah, that might help. And coconut oil. I don't understand. How do all these people have depression when coconut oil exists? So the context here, I don't know if you guys saw this, but on Twitter, there was like a thing where there was someone with like braids. There was a white character in Animal Crossing with braids. And the people were like, no, that's not braids, that's cornrows. And everyone's like, you shouldn't be allowed to have cornrows or stuff like that. It was like this whole like debate, and there was people on either side of the fence. There are people on either side of the fence both making valid arguments, but then there's also people on either side of the fence just being completely ridiculous. It's because people oh no, that's what it was. Yeah, okay. No, I'm getting confused. Maybe that was another post as well, because I don't know why that would have popped in my head then. You're right. It was Afro Puffs space buns. It was the little buns. And people were like, no, they're not space. See, they're like, the difference is texture. That's what the whole debate was. White people have different space bun texture, you know? I think it was probably like a long line of, like a long string where people were like, ah, yeah. And here's another example. You realize the character is legit a fictional character, a little character living with animals on an island in a fictional world, right? Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's good arguments on both sides of the fence. No one cares. It's a flu with 99.8% survival rate, which is slightly worse than the regular flu. We take 0 precautions against the regular flu, so why would this be any different? Stop fear-mongering, because it's a lot more contagious. We have a vaccine for flu influenza. I guess that's true as well. The vaccine changes yearly to hit the main influenza strains. Schools have closed down over outbreaks. 20% of COVID patients have permanent health issues. The death rate, 20 times influenza. I'm in healthcare. Don't lie to yourself or others. I feel like all of these like slightly controversial topic subreddits, they're all about COVID now. It's the main thing where you get all these people being like, I don't get it. Like, oh, why can't we just keep doing life? Because COVID is political in the US. It's not just the US. COVID is political everywhere. You'd think that like here in Australia, we have 0 cases. It wouldn't be political. It is. In fact, especially when you have 0 cases. Can you imagine still having restrictions with 0 cases? How annoyed some people get? The point is to keep 0 cases. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the idea behind it, but doesn't mean people don't get up in arms about it. She loved Pride Month, but herself is married to a straight guy. I find it quite ironic. I support animal rights, and I'm not going to marry a whale, George. I don't get it. Why would you be in favor of gay marriage if you're not going to marry a gay person? I just don't understand. It just doesn't make any sense. Come to think of it, there's a lot of things that make no sense in the world. Why? Why do they sell mangoes? Why do they sell mangoes at the shops? I've never bought a mango. I don't buy mangoes. I don't like them, but they still sell them. It's a bit weird. I do like mangoes. I need that to be known. That was just a similar, I don't know, one of those things. Hey, getting some Carson, some Call Me Carson action. The biggest fart of all time already happened. Vsauce. For the last time, Carson. No, I'm not gonna do a video about how you were born. We want more of this. We want more of this murdered by words. We want Vsauce versus Carson. Now that is murdered by words. Grandma out here taking names this year. Nathan, offer still stands if you guys want to come over for Thanksgiving. Would love to see you all. Grandma, we should wait until next year. Nathan, but Mum, what about your famous cranberry sauce? Grandma, good idea, Nathan. You can serve it at my funeral. Jeez, that is a grandma with sass. I mean, it makes sense. The older, the most vulnerable, I suppose, to everything going on. Just like, no thanks. I'm staying inside. What's something that feels British but isn't? The contents of the British Museum. Oh, ho, ho. Snap. Because Britain go and take things and then they put it in a museum. And that's history. Nearly 500 years before the birth of Columbus, the Vikings were the first Europeans to discover America, not Christopher Columbus. It doesn't count as a discovery unless there is a little genocide with a sprinkle of Christianity. That's probably kind of true, right? Vikings did have Christianity at that point, actually, I believe. Not sure about genocide, though. Wait, when they found America? True, since the Vikings were not religious until later on. Wait, what? The Vikings had their, they had their gods. Vikings were Norse though, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Vikings had Christianity since, I don't even know how to say that year, 1100. Valhalla. Odin. People of Kattegat. Was that a little bit Jamaican? A little bit Jamaican. Not so, what is it supposed to be? Where are they from? Danish? Iceland? Something like that? That startled me. Vikings slaps. Some changes are coming to Instagram. Today, you'll start seeing a Reels tab and a Shop tab on your home screen. Some changes are coming to Instagram. Today, you'll start seeing stuff you didn't ask for in places you used to click. Yeah, like, why? Like, is this the new thing? Like, everything was getting stories. Apparently still is. Apparently Spotify is getting stories. It's the next thing shop of just like random stuff. Who's like, I want to go buy something. I need some new glasses. Or go to Instagram. I feel like I need to do a video of just like me shopping on Instagram, just buying stuff on Instagram. People have craft shops. Oh, like local shops on Instagram. It's not all just like big businesses flogging like Alibaba stuff. It's kind of good to know. I guess that doesn't sound so bad, but it's still like, it's a little bit scary. Animals have no emotion. Oh, good. The cat doesn't think the way you want him to. They act on pure instinct. They don't love anyone. Or even other family members. What? This cat did not miss this woman, but was only showing distress because it was hungry. The woman is being used by the cat. It's sad that you haven't realized this. Redditors only love... Redditors. not just like people. Specifically Redditors only love animals so much because they are the only things that will show them attention. Oh my goodness. Any attention is good to them, even if it's negative. Cats do not love humans, but they find them useful. The reason nobody loves you isn't because of their lack of capacity. It's yours. Jeez. I know that my cat owns me and not the other way around. I'm very aware, but I love my cats anyway, and I'm sure they love me. Now, this guy hasn't owned a cat, or at the very least, not a good one. Not a loving one, is what I'm saying. Look, when I'm sitting there in the morning and I open the door and Ebisu runs in, jumps on the bed, sits right on my chest, looks at me, he's giving me those hey baby eyes. He's like, you know that thing where they're like looking at you like, yeah, I know you're about to pat me and it's gonna be awesome. You can see it in their eyes. I don't get what is the big deal with COVID is. Cancer is a virus too. Find a vaccine for cancer. Hashtag. Cancer is worse than COVID. 1, no, cancer isn't a virus. 2, no one said that COVID is more important than cancer. 3, scientists are working on both. 4, COVID is contagious, therefore more dangerous. So shut up. I don't get it. I don't understand what the big fuss is with COVID. There's people with cancer. So why do we care, okay? And while we're at it, why are we still like dealing with people with like broken fingers when there are people with broken legs? Like it just doesn't add up. Now take a few seats and educate yourself. Anyway, if you don't want to get murdered by words, and instead you want to be complimented by words, you want to be brought to life by words, then I highly recommend you get some sweet lemon carton merch in the description below. It's got a cute little lemon carton on it, and you'll receive compliments like every other day at least. And that is a Joinen guarantee. And come follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Joinen, but on Twitch, where we film these videos live every weekday. But don't count on any specific time because I'm telling you, it's a little bit all over the place. I'll say that much. Bye.
Thank you for watching my video, but now that it's done, please watch another one.